Before we continue with our sweet, lovely little Maharu, who probably will not betray us at any point in the future, I want to show you guys something cool. So, you can open up the card book, and it, like, actually shows you the cards that you have, just in case you ever forgot. Or not even just you, even characters that what cards they have. So, like, Maharu, for example, has our card, but we we don't have hers. And then we already know, and Audette had fucking what's a who's, that's all his cards. He had all literally, those are just showing his own. We don't know what she had or him. I think that's kind of cool that that's even a thing. So yeah. Good morning, Maharu.
Ohayo, Miharu.
Miharu's already here when I get to school. She gives me her usual smile before she continues. Oh god, I don't like why I just Senpai? Hello? What the shit happened? Naomi comes running over to me from the gate. And there she goes.
Oh.
She almost trips in her haste, but she manages to catch herself. Seems like she's just as clumsy as ever when she lets her guard down. Always. She's been waiting for me at the school gate, just like she said she would yesterday. There's little point in her coming all the way to my classroom anyway, considering it's a big detour for her.
お待たせ。気分を変えて話したいから移動しよう。うちの近くにいいところがあるんだ。
Wait, what about the Miharu thing? Like,
ライオン館ではなくてですか?
Also, by the way, I think telling Naomi everything that, like, what we're going to tell her is a bad idea. Just throwing that out there.
ちょっとね。今日は天気もいいし。
Because then it'll wrap her up in this as well, in some way, shape, and form, and that's just dangerous.
Hi.
Following that, we both make our way to the station. I don't like that. Let's not go to the station anymore. Oh boy. One transfer from Shinjuku to the metro, and 2 stops later, you'll find this park. There's an entrance fee, but it's fairly inexpensive. Oh, I almost read expensive. It's one of the biggest parks in Tokyo, and was apparently an old samurai's garden back in the day. I'm not sure why, but it was restructured to resemble a mix between Japanese, English, and French parks, all at once. Jesus. There are normally tourists all over the place, but it's a lot less busy on weekdays. Makes it an ideal change of pace. I came here a lot when I was a kid. There's one place in particular that I enjoyed visiting.
ここですか?
You know what I enjoyed visiting? This bench. This bench right here.
ね、いいでしょ?
We have in fact become bench girl. There's a sole bench in the middle of the garden. We sit down there, taking in the surroundings and clock tower-esque building in the distance. I was gonna say, isn't that? I thought it was a clock tower, but it's not. Few buildings in Shinjuku stand out as much as that one. Part of me wants to say it's the building for the telephone company. The sound of the greenery whispering in the wind is nice and relaxing. What? An odd sensation washes over me out of nowhere. It makes me wonder whether or not I've actually been here before. What? But I'm sure of it. I know I've been here plenty of times as a kid. Yeah, what?
Senpai?
This shit's happening to us.
ごめん、大丈夫.
It's probably just weird foreshadowing, because we're gonna tell fucking Naomi all the shits. I take a deep breath and get ready to tell her all about divine selection. Please don't. What? Can't I make a choice to say no?
じゃあ、どこから話せばいいんだろう。まあいいや。信じられないような話なんだけど。
Like, I'm just gonna be honest. I thought there would have been a rule to say that you're not allowed to tell anybody unless they already know about it. I don't know. Oh god. She utters my name in a painful manner once I finish telling her everything. She started to get teary-eyed midway, but I kept going. I doubt she would want me to stop without painting her the whole picture. She nodded attentively from beginning to end, as if to reassure me that the decision to tell her was the right one.
絶対変だと思ったんです。あの本の話をした日、先輩は英語が全然できないはずなのに英語で会話をしてたんですもん。そっか、すでにあの日にはもう先輩は生きて、絶対に生きているのに。
I mean, yeah, I am alive. Not for long if I don't figure this out. She's saying that she takes my hand in hers. Uh-oh. The surface of her hand is cold, but I can feel her warmth underneath. There's no doubt the same goes for me. Though that warmth provides me the proof that I am alive.
私は生きてる。でもどうやらこっちが間違っているみたいなんだ。私、先輩が何を抱えてるかなんて知らずに勝手なことを言ってました。
Just saying, Naomi, we get down Mr. President for you. Alright? That's how we died.
仕方がないよ。だって話してなかったから。
She doesn't doubt what I've had to say for a second. Chances are that my death lines up with her dream so much that she has no choice but to believe in it. It gives her an answer as to why she's having that dream too, although it does nothing to resolve the situation at hand.
しかも三島先輩も同じ状況だなんて。
Oof. I brought that up too. I wasn't sure whether or not to tell her about Miharu, but in the end I decided to do it. On the one hand, there's no point in trying to keep certain things to myself. On the other, I simply gave in to my desire to lighten my own burden.
それに三島先輩はそんなことを言ってたんですね。
That's why I'm
そんな
putting all my eggs in Miharu's basket. Probably a bad idea. She's referring to Miharu's statement regarding her own participation, that she's willing to give her life for mine.
三島先輩みたいなこと私だったら言えないです。
I feel like what could Miharu's cause of death even be? Honestly, I was thinking suicide, but that's like I'm not sure though. It's still, my theories are still in the works.
私もそうだよ。美晴に死んでほしくない。でも自分が死ぬのも怖い。だから美晴を最後の一人にするために潔く死ぬなんて言えない。
Damn.
自分がどうすればいいのか正解がわからないままもう2週間も経っちゃった。
We're literally just living day by day, just hoping that every election that happens isn't us.
仕方がないと思います。
Another breeze blows through, catching our hair. It's a surprisingly cold breeze for this time of year. I can see the sunset off in the distance. The mixture of blue and orange on the horizon somehow resembles a wavering heart to me. Huh?
三島先輩は強いですね。
I feel like she's not as strong-hearted as we think her to be.
そうだね。
At least that's what, in my opinion. She's the complete opposite of me. She knows exactly what she wants to do, whereas, I'm just sitting here, unable to make any sort of decision. She might have already gotten started on gathering info based on the cards she's received. In fact, I'm certain she has. The determination in her eyes makes it apparent. Her attitude at school isn't any different from usual, but that's just further proof of her resolve. There's no doubt she's doing as much research as she can elsewhere, and she's doing it all for my sake. I'd say that all the time she's been spending at work lately was just a front for said research, but that'd be overthinking things. That's something she's been doing for a while now.
聞いてくれてありがとね。少し気が楽になったよ。
But I feel like Naomi's like now in trouble.
どうすればいいのかなんてまだわからないけど、しばらくはまたこのまま過ごしてみる。
Saying that, I get up off the bench. Ugh. Or I try to, but Naomi stops me by grabbing my sleeve. Hey,
あと5分だけ待ってください。私決めたことがあります。
I mean, I'll stay, but I don't like personal conclusions.
決めたこと？
She nods firmly in response. Oh, oh!
私凛花先輩を支えたいです。
I mean, I don't know how, but, you know.
このままじゃ絶対ダメです。凛花先輩の気持ちにはなれないけれど、私の無責任な意見かもしれないですけれど、逃げてるだけじゃいけないと思います。
Damn. She's laying it on real thick right now.
逃げてる。
I guess, yeah, I would say we're kind of running from it, honestly. It's not that I'm struggling to make a choice, I'm simply avoiding it altogether. Naomi makes sure to be as frank as possible with her words, and they turn my entire world upside down. The reality that I've been running from, my responsibility to choose whether I'll live or die, finally sinks in. Burp. Before I know it, the sky has been dyed entirely in orange.
調べ物くらいなら私は手伝います。顔が知られていないから参加者に直接会うこともできます。
That's like relying too much on her at that point. And that reliance could end up getting her killed and not be brought back. At least, this is a dangerous game, you know, and she's now part of this dangerous game, and that revolves around death and shit. Who knows? Since she's not part of the game, she could get killed or something because they find out they're just snooping around for us, and that's dangerous.
何より先輩が一人じゃ支えきれないものを一緒に背負うこともできます。ナオミ。
Her words are filled with bursting with resolve.
最後の瞬間には先輩たちのどちらかが生き残るのか悩まないといけないかもしれません。でも今のままじゃきっとその前に。ねえ、ナオミ。私も今さら自覚しちゃった気持ちがあるんだ。
What have I realized? She turns to face me, waiting for my follow-up comment. Having the truth put out in front of me like that made me realize what I'm most afraid of.
私、怖いんだ。このまま生き残るには、見張るだけじゃなくて、他の人も脱落させないといけない。
Yeah, that's one of the scariest parts is not only are you being targeted, but you will have to target other people as well. Because if you don't, you won't win and you'll die.
自分が人の命を踏み台にしてまで生きるべき存在かなんてわからないんだ。自分の未練さえ曖昧なままだし。
I've seen the expressions of those who were moments away from being elected. I wouldn't describe them as sad, angry, or even accepting. They simply looked powerless in the face of what was about to happen. Because you know, those are the faces of people who died without being able to fulfill what they wanted out of life. Meanwhile, I'm not sure if I have that much invested in anything to begin with. That's why part of me feels like my life isn't worth being saved in exchange for theirs.
三島先輩や私が凛花先輩に生きていてほしいって気持ちじゃ足りませんか？
Yeah, but to like kill others?
私だって他の人を脱落させて生きることが正しいかどうかは分かりません。でも先輩が死んじゃうなんて絶対に嫌なんです。
Not to mention, we would have to, it's been brought up, but we'd have to eliminate Miharu as well if we wanted to live. And she's our friend. That's juju.
だからもし他の人を脱落させることが罪だとするなら、それを背負うのが怖いなら、私に半分分けてください。
ナオミ、どうしてそこまで言ってくれるの？
Because she wants us to live. Why would she go this far for my sake?
本来の運命で先輩は自分の命よりも私を優先してくれた。口で軽々しく言えないだけで、先輩はきっとそういう人なんです。でもそんなの関係ないです。凛花先輩だから。他に理由は思いつきません。あれ、おかしいな。どうしてミダが。これはその違うんです。
We have entered a very dangerous game, Naomi. I don't know if we can make it out of here alive. She turns her gaze toward the sky, like I would do in most situations, desperately trying to fight back the tears that are already about to fall at any moment. It's a weird time to have a thought like this, but I can't help but consider just how vast the sky truly is. Naomi has nothing but praise out of the coffee I make. She made me realize that I'm avoiding reality. Oh God, why did I do that? That and a number of other important things. Ooh.
危ないことはしないでね。
I don't know if that can be promised. Tears have started to stream down her face by the time I say that.
私はこの期間、選定からの脱落以外で死んじゃうことはないらしいけど、ナオミは違う。だから危険なことはなし。
She better promise us. That's one of the things I'm worried about. Unable to get the words out, she bites her lower lip and nods her head.
その上で私からお願いさせて。女神の選定で私が脱落しないように協力してください。
It's like, you don't even have to ask. I'm here.
先輩、なんで敬語なんですか？
I extend my right hand to her, which she takes. Oh, we're doing a handshake. Her nervousness. I just imagined him. All right, then we're in business. Her nervousness melts away with the beaming smile she gives me afterwards. Her tear-stained cheeks serve as a nice contrast to that.
泣き虫だね、ナオミは。
Well, she's the shy, sensitive, and baby type.
先輩もこういう時は泣いていいんですよ。
Oh, I learned that a long time ago.
からかわないでよ。
We rarely cry. Her tears won't stop flowing, even though she's all smiles. Just then the announcement comes that it's almost time for the park to close for the day. I take the opportunity to tell Naomi that I'll see her tomorrow, and then I make my way home. Making my way downtown. Oh, well, at least we're home. When I get back, I open up Lion House for a bit. After messaging Naomi during break time, I decided to keep the store closed tomorrow so we could focus on gathering intel and organizing our thoughts. I figured hitting up the library will be a good idea, since we'll have to access the newspapers and the like, but considering I still don't know where to start, I decide it's best for us to meet up there. We don't need to we don't need to worry about keeping quiet there, at least. I also make sure to ask Naomi not to tell anyone else about this. I hope she fucking doesn't. Part of me considers telling Mao. At first, since we're such close friends, but considering she's known Maharu far longer than Naomi, I decide it's best not to. Mao could be helping Maharu. Oh, that'd be awesome. The dynamic. It'd be far too much of a burden for her to hear, and the last thing I wanted to do is to ruin the relationship the three of us have right now. You telling me. Thinking back on everything that's happened so far, I get ready to close up shop for the day. Barely any customers have come around, so I only have to clean up a few things. I clean up those things, carrying the signboard and some plants from outside, and put out the trash. The door looks a bit dirty, so I make sure to wipe that shit down too. While I'm wiping it, I hear footsteps heading my way. Ah! I don't pay that much mind, considering it's not rare for people to pass by at this time of night, but they stop right in front of the store. Is it Maharu? Thinking it's a customer, I turn around to inform them that we're closed. But I stop mid-sentence when I see the woman to whom the steps belong to. The moment I stand up straight, she grabs me by the shoulders, pushes me against the door, and then into the store. Uh-oh. Oh, yes. Yes, I am. I don't know who you are. Why are you scaring me? Why are you grabbing? Help, Space Marines. I need assistance. Her words come out loud and rapid. Her voice sounds like her throat is ready to explode. Her first impression makes her seem desperate, but I'd say she's more anxious than anything else. That's why her shouting actually helps me to approach the situation with heightened composure. Okay. Oh. Well, rather than answering her question, I opt to shoot one right back at her. I don't know her name, but I recognize the face. She's one of the people I've seen in the dream world. Composed as I may seem, it's not enough to keep my nerves calm. I can feel myself working up a cold sweat. Even the most minor thing here could act as a hint for her, so I need to watch what I say. What? She slams her hand against the door, closing the distance between us even more. Excuse me! I'm trying to run a business! And yet I'm not afraid. Mainly because I keep in mind why she's anxious in the first place. The only reason she's asking me is because she's not entirely sure that I am who she thinks I am. Meanwhile, numeral 12 gained her name card from the woman he eliminated during the first round, if memory serves. Oh shit. You don't know shit. Get out of here. Get out of my... I can kick you out. I can get the police. I don't doubt that I'd be panicking if this was numeral 11 or 12 asking. But it's the same dread I feel from competing with people like them that allows me to remain calm here now. Compared to them, she looks like your average woman. Slender and pretty, although you can tell she looks overtired. There's no doubt she's been getting little sleep. Well, yeah. She's wearing what I believe is a shawl atop a hospital gown. Bitch, I couldn't even tell you what my regret was, so you're shit out of luck there. My silence makes her all the more agitated. Slap her in the face! Bam! Tell her to calm down. I mean, you did. My practice starts to wear thin, which causes me to place my hands on her shoulders and shove her away. Yeah, get her! I must push her a bit too hard since she stumbles backward. Get wrecked. She falls and lands on the hard concrete. Look, you were just acting out of it was a defensive thing. I mean, I get it. I apologize without thinking. Showing sympathy to other participants, my enemies, in other words, probably isn't the best idea. And she still continues to act with sympathy. I ask but receive no answer. All she does is stare down at the ground and mutter something to herself. Following that, she collapses under her own weight. I feel like I mean, this looks like I can't... do you think she died from an illness because hospital gown? It's like, I think you're pretty not doing well, alright? Okay, her sentence trails off there. Judging by her steady breathing, she seems to have fallen asleep, as opposed to have passed out. What the fuck? I spot the name of the hospital she was admitted to, written on the hem of her gown. It's only a 10-minute walk from here. Rinka, you're too damn nice. She doesn't want to get in an ambulance for whatever reason, but I can't just leave her here. Fortunately, she's rather light, so I opt to give her a piggyback ride.
思ったよりきついな。
Well, you're rather small yourself, so... After I lock the store up, I proceed to the hospital. This probably looks weird to ongoers, but whatever. Hello? Admitting a person who probably died here 2 weeks ago, but it didn't because of divine selection? When I arrive, the nurse I speak to showers me with praise. It's hardly surprising. I think most people would praise a high schooler who has obviously exhausted herself by carrying a patient all the way back to the hospital in the middle of the night. The nurse wastes no time in taking her away, so I guess she really is a patient here. Thanks to this, I managed to learn her name as well. Oh boy. Kombuchi Kaiko. While she's always had a frail disposition, things have gotten worse for her once she gave birth. Oh. I don't pry any deeper, but I doubt they would have told me much more. The only reason they told me as much as they did was to make sure I knew who it was that I helped out in the first place.
そういえばカードって。
Parsa mentioned that we'd obtain new cards whenever we discovered vital pieces of information in the real world. Yep.
そっか。本。
Just go over there, say the name, you'll be good. Chances are I didn't get one because I don't have it with me. Do you have to have it on you when you find out the name? Or say, I'm aware of its importance, but I tend to leave it behind since it's heavy. Like, can't you just go back to the book and be like, alright, this bitch's name is Whoosy Who. And you're like, okay. Either way, I should leave considering visiting hours have long passed. Hey, I deserve to be here. I saved I almost said student. Saved a patient. Curious as I am about Kaiko, I make my way back home. Alright, we could probably find out things about her. Once I return to my room and get ready for bed, I take a seat at the table on which my book rests.
なんか光ってるんだけど。
Oh, it appeared, didn't it? Please say it appeared. Oh, yeah, it's glowing! Little bits of light are pouring out from between the book's pages. Needless to say, this is the first time I've seen this happening. In the real world, no less. I take a moment to prepare myself, then open it up. Whoa! The moment I do, the light begins to rise above the book itself.
ちょっと。
Oh! All you do is watch as it eventually congregates to one spot, almost 2 feet above my table. It eventually molds itself into a rectangular shape. Well, to be more specific, the shape of a card. Once the transformation is complete, the light dissipates. And the card floats in midair for a brief moment before it quietly lays itself to rest atop the book.
こうやって作られるんだ。カード。
I can't hide my surprise over witnessing something like that happening in the real world. Something similar happened in the dream world, but it's a whole different experience when it happens in your own room. I pick up the newly formed card. It's exactly the same as the others I have in terms of shape and make. The only difference is the content written on it. Yup, there it is. So we can find out information, then it just shows up. 8. Name Kombuchi Kaiko. As expected, it's Kaiko's name card. That's all, though. I still don't know her cause of death or regret. Illness. Can you just say that?
でも出産してから入院したって言ってたよね。だったら
Death by stress on the body? What's that even called? It has to be related to that. The first ailment that comes to mind from childbirth is... My head starts to hurt all of a sudden. It doesn't take me long to realize why either. It's because I just remembered how desperate Kaiko looked. The way she was acting earlier proved that her regret ran deeper than I could comprehend. What I'm doing right now is akin to walking all over that. Listen! We need to survive, Rinka! The more I try to imagine the circumstances of her death, the worse the pounding in my head becomes. That's when I remember Naomi's proposition to shoulder the burden along with me. I'm not prepared to handle this alone quite yet. Today's done a good job of showing me just how weak I am. Rather than thinking about this anymore, I turn my light off and choose to sleep instead. Alright, let's just keep...
おっ 3ターン
Fucking Mao. She always has like the fucking silliest face on all the time. And she's like the, you know.
あ、マオ、おはよう。
I notice Maharu getting ready for class as usual when I arrive at school. Seeing her reminds me of the realization I came to yesterday, which prompts me to say something odd to Mao.
ミハルってさ、強いよね。
Mao's like,
ミハルンが逆だよ、きっと。
That's what I was thinking. Like, she's probably not as strong-hearted as we think. Her voice and tone are lower than usual.
んじゃ、今日も一日頑張りましょう。
And she always, like, the way she talks is great. She returns to her usual self right away, almost as if to avoid continuing with that topic. Yeah, I don't... Once school has ended, I meet up with Naomi before heading over to the school... to the library on the way back to Lion House. Fortunately, the library is only 5 minutes away from Lion House and on the very same path I took to get to the hospital last night. I make sure to fill her in on what happened last night as we make our way there. Her first reaction is to express her concern about me. She crinkles her nose when I mention that Kaiko seems to have had a rougher go at life than I have, but then sighs in relief afterwards. Once at the library, we gather up some books regarding pregnancy. God, it's like so fucked up that we're just like, alright, what do? We're gonna kill this girl because I need to live. Part of me doesn't want to go at first, or want to at first, since we'll be painting a rather dubious image of ourselves. Then again, this isn't the time to be worried about that. Having gotten what we needed, we next make our way back to Lion House and spread the books out on one of the tables. Oh.
じゃあ、この本でまずは死因になりそうな病気や症例がないかを調べてみましょう。
Remember, we have to be completely sure about our answer.
うん。
She announces the plan with seemingly little issue. I can tell she's forcing herself to act composed. Normal people like us shouldn't have any reason to investigate someone's death like this. Doesn't help that it feels like we're digging into someone's private life without consent. That's one of the reasons behind my headache last night. Not to mention that, in this case, it's about someone who's still alive. I pick up one of the books closest to me. While thinner than the card book, it's packed full of text. I probably shouldn't try my hand at a book like this when I know absolutely nothing about medicine. Thinking that, I pick up another one, only to reach the same conclusion. Well, god damn it. The only stuff I read other than manga are novels, so ideally, there'll be something a bit simpler among all these. As I think this over, it leads me to repeating the same scenario over and over in my mind.
先輩
Yes?
え、どうしたの？
もしかして本苦手ですか？
Lol, nope. We're fucking... She's using the book in her hands to obscure her face from below the eyes, which are glued to me.
苦手ってわけじゃないんだけど、難しくない？
Ringo's like, I just have no idea.
そう思ってたら言ってくださいよ。もう少し簡単な本もありそうでしたから、そっちも借りてきたのに。
Listen, Naomi, I didn't want to act like an idiot, alright? I just wanted you to pick the books and see if I can read them anyway. Turns out I can't, so rip me. That makes it pretty clear that I left Naomi in charge of picking out which books to get. I figured that'd be best, considering she's a bit of a bookworm.
先輩ってやっぱり勉強は苦手です？
I nod my head after a brief hesitation. I wouldn't say I'm bad at studying, but there's no point in putting up a front, especially when my grades tell a different story.
でも頑張ってみる。自分のことだもんね。
Well, listen, we're just like not working out. I pick up another book and peruse the table of contents. We could probably find something even though we're not good at like the medicine and stuff. Naomi hides part of her face behind her book again, but I can see how focused her eyes are on its contents. Oh, she's just like scanning, analyzing. 2 hours later, Jesus Christ, I feel my concentration vanish into thin air.
ちょっと休憩しよっか。
That's how I'd be. I'd be like, oof, 2 hours? Now,
ナオミさん
what? She's focused.
何ですか？
I like the
すごい集中力だね。ちょっと休憩しよっか。
I think we do need a break, though. We do, but Naomi probably is fine.
はいそうですね。
I'll make you coffee, but remember, you gotta pay. I'm trying to run a business. She closes her book after I make my offer. I guess she's finished reading that one too, which makes for a total of 3 so far. Holy shit. Meanwhile, I'm still stumbling through my first. The difference in reading speeds between someone who reads often and someone who doesn't is rather striking. Well, because we're so fucking derpy. Well, we are. Naomi's perfectly fine. I brew up some coffee for the both of us and bring it over to the table.
ありがとうございます。そういえば久しぶりな気がします。先輩のコーヒー。
No, you had it like just the other day. You're perfectly fine.
あ、そうかもね。
I've spent so much time teaching her how to make coffee that I actually haven't had much of an opportunity to make some for her myself. Oh shit. Okay, okay, never mind. It has been a while. It's always nice watching Naomi drink the coffee I make, considering how much she seems to enjoy it. Whoop.
それでさ、何か分かったことある？
She probably found something after reading 3 books. I have picked up on something myself, in truth. But asking for Naomi's inputs first seems like the best idea.
はい。まず分かったのは、妊婦さんの出産時の死亡率はすごく低いってことですね。
Yeah. It does happen, just not very often. So, the book I've been reading says the same thing. Based on a study from 2014, only 3 out of 100,000 mothers died while giving birth. Statistics. I'd assume Kaiko is in her 20s or 30s. Even if it's the latter, there's only a 0.003% chance of it happening to her. But there's still the chance. For comparison's sake, a person's much more likely to be involved in some sort of fatal traffic accident before that. This stuff actually caught my attention while reading it because it'll be relevant to me at some point in the future. Seems like Naomi read about the same study. You think we were revising test materials together or something.
でも、それだけ例が少ないなら、原因の予想がつきやすいんじゃないのかな。
私もそう思います。ただ気になっているのは、どこまで詳細な情報がカード化するのに必要なのかなってことです。
We just need to find the cause of death and regret. Once we know those, bing bang boom, we find out, we have to say it, we have to make sure we are absolutely 100% sure about it, and then a card will, you know.
私が持っている死因のカードに書かれているのが焼死ってだけだから、きっとそれくらいのざっくりさでいいんだと思う。
So like if her death was actually childbirth, you could just say, Kaiko died from childbirth. Boom. And then if that were true, the card would appear.
なるほど。でも先輩の話だと概念が実存になるって言ってましたよね。
うん。私もよく意味が分かってないんだけどさ。
だとすれば、情報がカードになるというのは、先輩がちゃんと概念として情報を持っていないといけないと思うんです。
Damn, Naomi, she already knew. Shit, man. Now the conversation's getting a bit complicated. I take a moment to mentally sort out all my info. The process behind making new cards involves giving information, thoughts, rather, a tangible form. Parsa explained that much herself. How does one distinguish which piece of information is correct and turn that into a card then?
すみません。わかりにくい言い方になっちゃいました。
Oh, that's pretty simple, to be honest.
先輩の中で論理的に行き着いた結論なのかって意味です。つまり、先輩が日常会話の中で何気なく言ったことでも、誰かの死因や未練に該当していたらカードになるのか。
Like if you were just talking, say you were talking with that person, and they just were like, "Oh yeah, this is my cause of death." Yeah, I think a card would appear. But if it's just a rando person talking, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, you know," who knows if that may be real or not.
それとも、例えば、この人はいつ症状が悪化したから死因はこれだろうって証拠みたいなものを先輩が把握していないといけないのかってことです。
Listen, Naomi, it's a very complicated and simple process at the same time.
そっか、なるほどね。
I cast my mind back to the past 2 weeks. I'm not the most chatty person, but I've definitely had a good number of conversations during that time. Chances are good that I've discussed things related to relevant information, so by that logic, I should have some extra cards already. And yet, yesterday was the first time I obtained a new card. In that case, it's probably the latter scenario that's required in order to make new cards.
やっぱりそうですよね。極端な話ですけれど、辞書を最初から最後まで読めば、大体の人は死因も未練も手に入れられることになっちゃいますもんね。
That'd be pretty funny. They die from this? No, this? No. God damn it.
あんまりやりたくないけどね。
Sounds like a pain in my ass.
命がかかっているなら、やるかもしれません。
She's got me there. That serves to remind me how desperate Kaiko looked. I could tell she had a specific force driving her. Knowing that, chances are high that she'd read through all kinds of stuff if it meant possibly obtaining more cards.
それに、先輩の死因のカードが作られないのも同じ原因かもしれません。先輩の曖昧な記憶や私のぼんやりした夢の他にもっと何かが。
So in the end, it's all up to me to remembering the exact details of what happened that day. I can't see myself doing that today, at least. The fact that it's yet to come back to me probably means I need something specific to trigger my memories. I push those thoughts away and Naomi back to the topic at hand.
そうですね。私の意見ですけれど、一般的な失血死というのが妊婦さんの亀渕さんの死因である可能性が高いと思います。
でもそれじゃあ足りないんだね。どうしてそうなのか、理由や筋道を私がちゃんと理解していないといけない。
The lack of any new card materializing proves that, yup.
ここで調べてるだけだと足りなそうですね。
I think like we have to do way more crazy digging than this.
私がお見舞いに行ったら、まあ拒否されちゃうよね。
Naomi can do it. Yeah. I'm well aware of how much my hair caused me to stand out. I got an idea.
どうしました？
休憩するって言ってたけど、彼じゃ休憩にならないね。でもさ、ナオミ、頼りになるね。
I was gonna say, we're like having a break. This isn't even a break. This is still doing the things.
それならよかったです。
I say that, but I can tell she's pushing herself pretty hard. Oh yeah, it's clear from the way she's speaking that she's more nervous than usual. Same goes for me as well. There's no way we can have a happy chat about someone's possible cause of death, or even killing them because of it. However, I'm not getting a headache like when I tried to do this on my own. Her being here to shoulder part of the burden really does make things easier to bear. Now the issue is how we go about digging deeper.
私、 お菓子持ってきたんでした。今日は手作りじゃないですけど。
Where are these sweets from, woman? Saying that, she produces some chocolate, which I happily partake of. The sweet sensation that spreads throughout my body is almost enough to make me shiver with joy. Woohoo!
糖分がしみるね。
Especially when we're doing this, bored out of our fucking skulls, as well as trying to figure out someone's death.
脳の栄養は糖分って言いますもんね。私が勉強してるとお母さんがよく。
Why'd you stop like mid-word?
どうしたの？
単純なことでした。私が恵子さんの家族に会えばいいんです。
Yeah. God, this is so fucked up.
ナオミが？それって危ないことじゃない？
はい。でも私が会いに行く分には本人ならともかく家族ならなんとかごまかせるかもしれません。先輩が恵子さんを病院に運んだ件があるので念のため制服は着ないで行きます。
Oof. Naomi's thinking of literally everything right now.
でもさ、口止めとかされてるんじゃないの？
I doubt it.
夢の世界の話って大人がそのまま大人に話せはしないと思うんです。オブラートに包んだ言い方をしてる。だから完璧じゃない気がします。
She does have a point. I had no issue telling her everything, but there's no way I'll tell one of our teachers, for example. I'd probably be fine with telling my gran, but definitely not my parents if they were around. That goes double for if I were Kaiko's age.
危ないことはしません。だから私にやらせてください。
I swear to God, Naomi, if you get hurt in some way, I'm gonna be pissed at myself and you.
ナオミ、そういう演技できる？
What acting skills?
それを言われると。
She once again tucks her face behind a book and then pops part of it back out to speak to me after a moment.
でも頑張ります。先輩のためですもん。
Well, thank you, Naomi. I'm sure you'll do just fine.
ほんと頼もしいね、ナオミは。
問題はいつ行くかですけど、やっぱり土日がいいかなって思います。
どうして？
Because it's the weekend.
平日だと家族の人が来るのって夜になると思うんです。遅くなるなら来られないかも。でも土日なら少なくとも旦那さん、お父さんは来ると思うんです。早い方がいいと思うので土曜日に行きます。
Like, how are we gonna find her family exactly? Like, I guess that's easy enough. We have the last name and such.
わかった。ただ、私もついていく。何かあった時に大声を出せば駆けつけられるとこで待ってるから。
We got this these plans, and I don't. She nods her head in response, understanding that I won't back down. We tried to discuss other possibilities regarding her death after that, but it basically turns into a study session about pregnancy. After walking Naomi to the train station, I make my way back to Lion House. Jesus. That's our first target, by the way. Someone who probably died. Someone who's in the hospital. That's our first target. Just think about that for a second. That's pretty fucked up. But we have to do this, you know? It's a thing.